never try, work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Uno, no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, it's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Hands up, Lee! Check 45 the mic. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Set!
1st and 10 for Dalton. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. The numbers for Shepard in last week's game: 8 catches, 104 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
3 down.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
So here are the Saints with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
On first down, Wilson. He's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 36 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the whip. Sponge. No. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
Wilson. Got a man open. It's Ross. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check it back. 14, run it.
Throwing is Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. So we got man. Yo, 40. Good shot.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line.
Ready?
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Wilson, eluding the pressure right into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just... Three points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now Gordon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come on. You better bring it.
Throwing, Dalton. And his throw here's incomplete.
Incomplete. It's not third down and 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Play fake. Here's Dalton. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. It's hauled in by Shepard. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. And the Saints, first down.
The first carry now for Rex Burkhead. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the
Johnson. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another first and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Catch made here by Campbell. A good pickup there at 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a second and goal. Second down and goal. Wilson. Campbell making the catch. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Burkhead. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. Let's think here. You're still just in the second quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show me I have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Let's go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
Dalton, first and 10. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. He'll come up now, second and 4 from the 31.
Tight end right. Tight end right. 4 down.
So Dalton now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Bird to return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now, their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Wilson, buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll run it with Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now Wilson. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Sterling Shepard as he and this offense get set to go again. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 30, 10, and he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And this is Shepard on the catch. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. The big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Strip that ball. Fourteen, got it. Pause. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Wilson. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Open man is Ross, complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now Wilson on 1st down. The throw taken in by Cole. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Zebra.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check it. Alert, alert, alert. I'll go special. I'll go special.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Going deep downfield for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. 1st and 10 for Dalton. To Shepard, complete over the middle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Mike, 45.
Now Dalton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Here's Dalton. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Throwing on 2nd down, Dalton, and that is incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfro. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Hunter Renfro with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Come on, fellas.
The Saints take over first and 10.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Here's Gordon. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Passing, it's Dalton. That'll be caught by Rodgers. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Detroit! Melvin Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
On first down, Wilson going deep downfield for Ross. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Saints. And even 60 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. John Ross there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And Dalton to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw here, Dalton. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. He made a terrific play.
So Dalton now sets up the screen to Gordon. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards 8.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Ross, 64 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Another chance for Dalton. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Dalton. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
The 2nd down run for Burkhead. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He gets this one to Johnson. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Again, they run with Burkhead. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001.
It's just me and you.
Throwing on second and long. Dalton. This will be caught by Brown. The reception good for 7. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety.
Ready, ready.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Johnson. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ready? 18 Gator.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
And they take a knee.
Ready?
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 43-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.